Hi you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have a day off. Let's start with that. So this is like my fourth day off kind of. I had a work meeting today, so technically I still had to go in, but I've had the whole day off, which I'm kind of really relieved because it has really been March Madness. And I really think I've had like 3 or 4 days off out of the entire month. Definitely within the last 3 weeks, 100%, but the first week of March was like a blur. I have no idea what happened, so I can't really tell you. So this is more so going to be like what I feel makes a good bartender. This isn't gonna be about what bartenders shouldn't do. That's gonna be another video. But this one is what I think would make a great bartender. And the first thing I wrote on here was a great multitasker. So personally, if you are having trouble like, cooking dinner, making sure laundry is okay, maybe I don't know, maybe you got the shower running, maybe you have some tea boiling, if you can't handle all those things at one time and not be frustrated, then you're probably not gonna be a great bartender. Bartending, there's a lot of things going on. People are yelling at you at times. I'm not saying you can't survive bartending in general, but if you're working in a busy like nightclub type of environment, or maybe a restaurant where it's just like bam, 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 tickets, drinks, and if you aren't like mentally trying to prepare yourself as to what is prioritizing and what isn't, then you're not gonna do so well. And it's a life skill as well. If you don't prioritize the things that you have to do today, like for example, my rent's due tomorrow. So if I don't prioritize paying that, I'm gonna suffer later. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a downfall for me. So I would say being a strong multitasker is like a very important part of being a bartender. And even if you are in the cocktail industry and you're a mixologist, even in that case, you would then be, again, multitasking and basically trying to get everything organized and prepared as well as possible. Following along multitasking, I know I don't have to look down my book for this one, but I would say to be clean and organized in your workspace. Not only are you going to be working in the bar, but you're also going to have other people working around you in the bar. Sometimes you have a well that you will have 2 people work on, or sometimes you'll be sharing tools and equipment. And it's very, very important that you set everything back the way it was fairly quickly. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be like leaving shit everywhere and just like, oh, that's dirty, leave it there, done. Like, no. If it's in your head that you just made a Bloody Mary and it now has like that olive smell and that Worcestershire smell, you need to like clean it. You know what I mean? So like I said, prioritizing, multitasking, understanding that you need to go back and make sure that what your space is clean, organized, not only for yourself, but also for your, coworkers, and also, most importantly, even your guest, like the person who's sitting at the bar is like watching what's in front of them. And I'm telling you right now, if they see like sauce everywhere and it's just like dripping and it's not looking so clean, they're probably gonna be like, this is a disgusting bar, I'm never gonna come back here. Have your shit together. That actually brings me to another point, don't need to look, and that would be appearance. Okay, being a bartender comes with a responsibility, I would say, to be presentable. Okay, you have people touching your drinks, you have people touching the bottles, touching the syrups, touching the fruit, touching, okay? You know what I mean? Just someone who doesn't look so healthy. You're gonna ask yourself, should I get a drink from this person? Like, is this person like safe to get a drink from? Hygiene has a lot to do with how you're not only presenting yourself in the bar, but also what your guests think of you. And I'm just gonna say it, just as much as someone's going to tip you, it does have something to do with it. If you don't look presentable here, presentable in your clothes, presentable in your, whatever, even your jewelry, it's going to show, and it's going to attract a specific customer that maybe won't tip you or will. You know what I'm saying? Because people attract people. It has everything to do with how much someone is going to actually come to you, how much someone is going to tip you, and just even in general, just how they're going to feel in the whole experience. You know what I'm saying? Another one that I really like, that I take very seriously, as I've mentioned before, is I really believe a good bartender cares about other people, okay? And maybe that's for a specific type of bartender, and I'm talking about the bartender that is like behind a small bar, or maybe behind a beer bar, or maybe behind like a sports bar, you know what I mean? Where people just go hang out, and obviously they're there to watch the game, they're there to get a drink, whatever. But it's really important, I think, for a good bartender to actually care about the person that they're serving, and to actually be familiar with not only how much they're drinking, but maybe something that they need. Maybe you notice like a cue where they're just like, you know, like this, and they're just like bored and they hate their life, and you could just tell that there's like a misery in their eyes or in their vibe, right? Because it's the word of the century is vibe. So if you really feel that like someone isn't doing so well, try to help them out, you know, try to maybe offer them like, you know, some water. I love the water thing, you know, maybe try and garnish up their drink, or, you know, tell them a joke. It's just noticing these kinds of cues is very, very important. It's psychology. It has everything to do with, you know, the way you treat other people. It has everything to do with how you feel about yourself. I go deep, okay? I'm a Scorpio, I go deep, so excuse me for bringing things up that you're just like, what is she talking about? No, it's like a real thing, you know? People sense other people. I personally would strive to be somebody who cares about other people, but of course there are asshole bartenders out there that do get tipped, and I'm just being honest, you know? People sometimes feel bad, and they'll tip you just because you're pretty or just because you did your job, but you're more likely to get more tipped if not only you're attractive and you have all your stuff together and you're organized, but you're going to get more tipped if you do the things that you're supposed to be doing properly, as well as having a good attitude and understanding cues. You know what I mean? I would say definitely knowing or understanding, you know, people and psychology is very, very important in bartending. I mean, hello, you're the one who has to figure out if the person is too drunk for another drink, or if they're probably, you know, about to do something really stupid. Like, those are things you have to watch out for as a bartender. And I'm just, again, like I said, I'm being very real about it. Next thing I'm gonna say, this one's very, very important as well, as most of these are. A good bartender is going to have integrity, okay? And integrity is like such a big deal in bartending, because I know a million bartenders who unfortunately don't have integrity. I used to not have integrity, if I'm gonna be straight up honest with you.